This is the Thriving Business Mama Show with your host, Jessica Fox, where we talk all things business and motherhood. And here we go right now with part 2 on the Pathway to Thrive series about community, starting right now.
All right. So continuing on with the sense of community. And as I said, so not only is community about being supported, community also influences us. All right. So there's the power of we in the community aspect. And that's about truly being supported and allowing ourselves to be carried and so that we can be successful. But the second part of community is understanding how community influences us. And this is really important. Do you, if I can find my hair, do you have thriving influencers in your life? And here's your fill in the blank. Am I willing to be intentional about what influences me? So when it comes to our community, when it comes to the relational aspect, how we are being influenced matters, because how you are allowing yourself to be influenced, the environments that you put yourself into are actually going to help you thrive and are going to push you towards the goals and dreams and achieve what you want to achieve, or it's going to lead you away from that. And now I know you guys are here because you do want to thrive in business and motherhood. So my question for you is, are you surrounding yourself with people who are actually encouraging you and wanting you to succeed? And so when it comes to influencers, how am I being influenced? I want to talk about 3 thriving influencers and the input we consume. This, we talked about alignment, we talked about belief, and that's our inner work. And this part 2 furthers the inner work about what we are allowing in. If this is about the inner life, are you taking an influence that is going to help you grow as a person? Are you reading books that help you grow? Or maybe if you're not a reader, are you listening to podcasts or audio programs? I know that you're consuming good input because you're here today and you're taking in what you're being taught here. What is the input? Is it positive or is it negative? Now, there's nothing wrong with a good Netflix and binge session, but are you doing that all the time? As much as when we have a positive input, negative input is important too. Are you uncritically digesting the worst of pop culture or listening to the news all the time? What is it that you are allowing? What input are you consuming? Because whether we realize it or not, it influences us and it actually affects us in deep and profound ways. So be mindful. If you're a spiritual person, apparently there's something going on here. Excuse me, ladies. Delilah. Of course, my dog's starting to bark. This is working on life, you guys. So there must be a deer or somebody out on the trail. I don't know. So where was I? We're talking about input. Are you intentionally allowing yourself to be influenced in a way where you will thrive by making sure what you're listening to, reading, watching actually is helping you grow? The next part of thriving influence is the people and relationships that we have around. Jim Brown, he teaches that you are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. And I believe that this is true. And so I want to recommend and just encourage you to be intentional about the people that you choose to associate with. So literally, like if you want to lose weight, hang out with people who make good diet choices and exercise choices. If you want a better marriage, socialize with people who have healthy marriages. If you want to make more money, hire a coach and associate with people who are successful. On the other hand, we actually want to disassociate from those who reinforce our worst traits. The Bible warns us that bad company corrupts good character. And you need to know that it is okay to say no to relationships that pull you down. And what's been really interesting in my work with my clients is sometimes those relationships are family. And yet being able to create boundaries in those family relationships to no longer, and it doesn't mean that sometimes for some people, it does mean having to have a very firm boundary where it's very little, but for some, it just means that, not always being accessible and having firmer boundaries so that we're not being hurt is really, really important. Surround yourself with people who believe in your success, who believe that you are worthy of your dreams and desires, who recognize the amazing light that is in you, and believe that you have been created for amazing things in this life, who encourage you every step of the way, and who are there to, help you get back up when you fall. Those are the people that you want to have in your life. Associate with them and let those be the ones that influence you. And then the third thriving influence are our habits. And we talked about this yesterday. You see, the habits are simply the consistent ways that we think, speak, and act in different situations. And what's really interesting about habits is that they are largely unconscious. And because they're unconscious, they're actually very powerful, both positively and negatively. But here's the thing, good habits lead to good outcomes. And this is why I do so much work with my clients around the habits of our thinking, because how we think is how we feel, is how we act, which creates our outcome. And so when we understand the habits of thought that are driving our actions and are able to go back and change that into habits of thinking and acting that are going to serve our higher self and serve the outcomes that we are desiring, we see amazing outcomes in our life. And an incredible example of this actually is my client, Brenna. Brenna she is constantly amazes me on what a hard worker she is, but more than that, how intentional she has been about the influences that she receives. She went from when we started working together, she was just getting the ball rolling, trying to, monetize. She's an amazing idea to help and empower moms, but didn't understand her worth, and was what she was asking monetarily in return for her services was literally like peanuts in comparison to the value that she was offering. Not only that, she didn't have the habits in place that allowed her to consistently make steps going forward in her business to grow her leads. And as we worked together, not only was she able to actually price her program so that she could make an income and provide amazing service, she truly, absolutely 100% upped her game. Constantly, that input that we talk about, constantly asking me, do you know another great book? Do you have another good podcast? Oh my gosh, I found this video. You need to watch it. Constantly sharing amazing information as she poured into her personal growth and allowing me to pour into her personal growth in our one-on-one sessions. She became very mindful of the relationships she was around. And at one point was like, you know what? I need to get around people who are 3 steps ahead of me because that's where I want to be. And then intentionally started seeking out these women who were more successful than her so she could learn from them. And the transformation has just been phenomenal. And not only that, learning how to have healthy boundaries in her marriage and in the relationships with her family members in a way where she honored them, yet still respected and honored herself by not just being a doormat, but saying, speaking her truth in a loving and respecting way. And then developing the habits in her business to see her business grow was just incredible. As we talked about, okay, what are your goals and what's going to get you there? And consistently every single day showing up with her list of these are the things that I'm going to do today to see change happen. You know, as she's continued to do the work, she is starting to see more and more impact in the lives of her clients. And in her direct selling business, she actually was celebrated for enrolling one of the higher numbers in her company that month. She has seen tremendous success. And I think my favorite part of her growth was when I got the message one day where she's like, I added a comma to my income. Oh, what from literally, guys, charging $30 for one-on-one sessions to adding a comma to her monthly income. And she just continues to grow every day, now becoming a best-selling author and while you know, multiple streams of income with 4 small children at home. She's just been a delight and understands the power of the positive influence, the powerful influence in her life in helping her achieve her dreams. So ladies, community is important. It supports us. Motherhood is not easy. Entrepreneur life is not easy. And we need to surround ourselves with like-minded and like-hearted women who are going to walk with us and to just show us that we are not alone, but that we get to be part of a we and receive from others. Also, community influences us. So I want to just encourage you, make sure you have those 3 thriving influences going in your life so that you are growing and moving forward. And I know that catering and curating the influence that is around us is a huge part of your personal success in all aspects of your life. So ladies, make sure you take a moment that you do that task and delegation list. It's really going to open your eyes to maybe some of the things in your life that you can let go of and not be so you're not quite as overwhelmed and free up some of your time. And I want to see in the group chat what has been your biggest takeaway so far. And then tomorrow, okay, now we're getting into the dirt of this. Ladies, tomorrow, create a strategy. We are going to be talking about some really important business strategies tomorrow, and then lifestyle strategy on Friday. So we're getting into the do aspect where we're actually going to bring this all together. So alignment, belief, community, creation, and do is the pathway to thrive. And it truly, if you are implementing what you're learning this week, you will go from feeling like you're in survival mode to starting seeing the shift into thriving and growing into the life that you've been created for. All right, ladies. So have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock Central for day number 4.